back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Recently, I do a lot of speaking around town. By the way, if you're looking for a speaker, we're always providing them. If not me, one of the many contributors of the Price of Business show are available. You can email us over at info@usabusinessradio.com. But I love to speak to different groups because I get to meet entrepreneurs and people involved in business and really get a chance to find out what's happening on the business front. Recently, I spoke to a great group called the After Hours Network, and they were doing networking way before networking was cool, way before BNI. It's incredible. John King has a great story. One of the gentlemen I met at that group was Howard Kahn, and he's here on the program, and he's also known as the Lone Star Lawyer. I liked his story, and I invited him to be a guest here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kevin. It's an honor to be here.
So, one of the things you learn in networking meetings, Howard, is the importance of the elevator speech, where you are able to say in 30 or 60 seconds what you're all about. I remember you gave yours. Give your elevator speech here today.
Well, I'm Howard Kahn, the Lone Star Lawyer. I've been practicing law here for more than 20 years across more than 10 state and federal jurisdictions. I can help you.
Okay. And what kind of law do you practice?
We do commercial litigation, collections, and family law.
Commercial litigation. Wow, that's kind of diverse, particularly the third one.
Well, it's interesting.
Hey, divorce is booming these days. I can't leave that money on the table.
That's exactly right. Divorce is booming. But when entrepreneurs have families, and most of them do, that is family law, and it actually intersects a whole bunch. It's really amazing how they do intersect that along with probate, as you know, the population is getting older and older, faster and faster by the minute, which creates a number of probate estates, a number of succession planning issues, which affect businesses directly.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Roughly 30% of the population are baby boomers. The young side of the baby boomers are 50 years old now. And so you're talking about a rapidly aging population. And after the baby boomers, you have the silent generation and still a few, the greatest generation still left.
That's right. That's right. And all their wealth is going to be passed down to the next generation. It's going to go one way or the other. It's either going to go through the probate court, which you don't want to go to, or you're going to do it through private succession planning. And a lot of businesses are owned by family men, family women, and they want to pass it down to their children, and they don't want to lose it all to Uncle Sam. So there is a lot of techniques we can use to help that, minimize the tax, and keep it private, because we don't want everybody to go down to the probate court and look up all your personal stuff.
Right.
Because I don't know if many of your listeners know this, but when you do have to probate a will, most of the time you have to list an inventory which lists all the assets that the dead person has that's going to get split up. You can go down there right now and look at Howard Hughes' will and see his inventory, although it's file boxes full of stuff. Actually, cabinets full of stuff.
Right.
But we don't want to do that for the most part. We want to keep that private. We don't, because everybody could go down there and look at it.
Yeah, no question about it. So of your three areas, you mentioned collections, commercial litigation, and divorce, or actually family, rather. What's booming these days?
Well, there are a lot of family law cases going on.
And that's not just divorce. That's child support issues. That's, there's just a plethora of things that pertain to family law.
Right. And I would include the probate situation in the family law, too, because that really involves parents and children.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of commercial litigation going on where owners are fighting amongst themselves about the company.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to help people out there. And, my goal is to help people either get vindicated or achieve victory.
Right. There you go. Tell me about the makeup of your firm. How many people do you have involved, that type of thing?
Well, we have about 4 people in our firm. I'm the only lawyer. We have a support person. We have an administrative assistant. That's Josh. And as you may have spoken with Candy, she was at our meeting as well. And then I use subcontracting lawyers to do other things because, the country is really too big for one person to show up in any one place all the time.
Right.
So I can't do that. I don't have the teleportation device that Star Trek has.
Dang. Man, if you make one of those, let me know.
Yeah,
really,
right.
MRI was inspired by that.
Is that right? I did not know that.
The MRI was inspired by that, actually, as well as the cell phone. The idea behind the cell phone.
I read about that.
The man who developed it, got the idea as a kid and said, someday I'm going to develop something like that. And he was the actual first early developer of the modern cell phone. So according to William Shatner, almost everything cool that was created because of him. But anyway, there's actually a documentary about that.
I saw it.
Yeah, it was a great documentary. Anyway, boy, I sure know how to chase rabbits. But you do cases all over the country, but you can't be all over the country. And so you basically sub-hire attorneys to represent you in other parts of the country.
Exactly right. For example, I do a number of cases in Tennessee. But I don't show up in Tennessee. What I do is I hire the local face lawyer who's already there in Tennessee to associate with my firm. Do the same thing in Georgia, same thing in Nevada, wherever it needs to be. That way you get the local face of the person who already knows the situation.
The judges as well, and the environment, the courthouse, and all those kind of things.
Right, the particular culture of that area. So you want to get the local person there, which I've used a lot, even here in town, even though I'm licensed in the state and I go all over the state. When I have a particularly sensitive case or big case, I get the local lawyer to help me sit in that local courtroom. For example, in Fort Bend County, I'm not there every day. So when I have a big case, I bring in a Fort Bend County lawyer who's been there for a long time, who really knows the system, who the system knows him or her as well.
Right. There's a certain built-in credibility with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's all, a good friend of mine and a mentor of mine always used to say, Mike Richards, he always used to say that the three most important words in business is relationship, relationship, and relationship. And it doesn't really matter what kind. In fact, I think I said that when I spoke to your group, that same thing. I usually can't give a speech without talking about the importance of that. And that includes if your business is the law.
Exactly correct. It's your network saves you legwork, and it really works. That's how I met you.
Saves you legwork. I like that.
I borrowed it from somebay else, but I wish I could take credit. Right?
Yeah. A couple more times you say it, you'll forget who that was, and then it'll be yours.
Well, I try to give credit where credit is due, so that way I don't have any problems.
Yeah. Okay. So, you have a website.
I have a website.
Where do people go to check out and learn more about you?
LoneStarLawyer.net.
LoneStarLawyer.net. That's LoneStarLawyer.net. How long have you been practicing law?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. You're about 12 when you started.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Lone Star Lawyer. We've been lying a lot about ages on today's show, all the way through the show, so I got a trend going. I might as well keep it going. LoneStarLawyer.net. And I tell you, guy has a lot of passion, clearly bright and delighted to have you on the program and learn more about what you're doing to help people out.
I really appreciate it, Kevin. Thanks so much.
You bet. All right, when we come back, we're going to have much, much more for you. I do want to mention, of course, our strategic partners over at usdailyreview.com. Our best content always shows up at usdailyreview.com, our sister news website. And when we come back, we're going to have much, much more for you. Make sure, though, that when you take that break, go ahead and like US Daily Review on Facebook and follow it on Twitter. More after this.